We're good to go.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Emma Hutchinson Elementary GoTeam meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it was emailed to you and publicly noticed. I am pleased to call this meeting of the Emma Hutchinson GoTeam to order. Our first order is to call roll and review our norms. Secretary Lundy will now take roll.
Present, I have Principal Melissa St. Joy, Miss Brenda
Present.
Williams, Miss Brenda Williams, Miss Courtney Manning, Miss Zakaya Lescott, and Miss
Brenda Williams here, sorry.
It's okay. Miss Lescott,
Present.
Miss Atkinson,
Present.
Antonio Cousins, Erica Willis, Jalecia Edwards, Courtney Manning, and Miss Bria Lundy. I am present.
Okay, thank you. This team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Secretary Lundy, do we have a quorum present?
We do.
Great. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you. Are there any changes to the agenda at this time? Okay, if there are no changes, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you. May I have a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, thank you. I believe that was Ms. Manning. Thank you. All in favor say aye, or you can raise your hand. All opposed say nay. Is there any abstentions? Please identify yourself. All right, let's move on. We will review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. These minutes were provided to you as well. Are there any corrections there? If there are no further corrections, may I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
I motion to approve. I'm sorry. I motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Thank you, Ms. Atkinson. Atkinson, sorry. Can I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. All in favor say aye or raise your hand. All opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Please identify yourself. I believe we lost one. Okay. And now we will move to the discussion items on the agenda. The next item of business is the budget approval presentation. Principal St. Joy will share with us, you can share with us your final budget presentation.
Okay. This is the final budget approval meeting. Our norms, this is a meeting of the GoTeam. Only any member of the GoTeam may participate in the discussion. We invite and welcome contributions of every members and to listen. We will follow the agenda as publicly noticed, and we will respect all ideas and assume good intention. We already went over the agenda, but in the budget process, we are currently now at step number 7. We've gone 1 through 6. And we are at the final approval process. Between the last meeting and this meeting, I participated in a staffing conference where I presented the same information that I presented to you guys at the last meeting as far as shifts and to our budget, but the budget was balanced out at 0. So what's going to happen is during this meeting, again, we've received the budget. There was no changes based on last meeting. After the meeting staffing conference with my associate Soup and Atlanta Public Schools HR. Again, these are the final budget recommendations, and today's the day we approve the budget. All budgets and staffing must be completed and approved by tomorrow, March 17th. So these were the parameters that a budget was built around, and our school priorities, improving the percentage of students achieving proficient on Georgia milestones, building capacities in teachers with math, ELA, science, and STEM education, reducing barriers for student attendance and chronic absences, recommending high-quality staff for vacant positions, full implementation of district intervention initiatives, support of our social emotional behavior and mental well-being, PBIS implementation and BAS, and implement STEM engineering and design program model that leads to obtaining a STEM certification by 2025. There were not any changes made to the budget after our last meeting discussion. What I presented to you is the exact same thing that was presented to them. And these were where the final allocations were and the FTEs. FTE is the full-time equivalent. And essentially we, per pupil, there'll be $10,000 per pupil allocated towards instruction, 1,148 toward pupil services, improvement of instruction, $891, instructional staff training, that's a very small portion of the budget, educational and media services, $428 per pupil, school administration, that's the whole administration suite and all the people that support teachers based on our enrollment, $1,641, $680 per pupil toward maintenance and operation, $8 per pupil towards transportation. And this is based on our enrollment of 249. I did want to make note that when we discussed our budget initially, I was balancing a deficit of $380,000. So that's what I balanced it out. And again, it's based on 249. Currently, as of today, our enrollment is 323. So if we hit that 249 number, we get so many dollars back per student. So if we were to come into school during those first 2 days and we get to at least 300 students, we would get additional funds. So some of the things that I did have to remove from the budget, which was a teacher and an instructional coach, if I have the funds, I could add it on the back end if we have the funding. But they based our funding based on projected enrollment. And they got that 249 number based on the apartment complexes were surveyed, because I asked questions. The apartment complexes, they track the birth rates in the community. Are there any new developments coming up? Are there new developments in zone for our school? So those were all the things taken into consideration for that 249. But we still, I'm hopeful that we'll get additional funds, but essentially there's a grand total of $15,549 allocated per pupil with all things included. This is a pie breakdown, and keep in mind the instructional piece. That is all of our teachers. Teachers' salaries and benefits are covered in that big kind of light blue instructional bucket, and everything else is all the other tools that support the teachers to impact the students. And this is the exact same thing that I shared last meeting. And that basically concludes the presentation of what was submitted to the staff, at the staffing conference to the Associate Superintendent and Human Resources. And that concludes that portion of the budget presentation. Were there any questions that I could possibly answer?
Any questions? Okay, thank you so much, Principal St. Joy, for sharing this information. I will now entertain a motion to approve the budget. Can I have a motion to?
I motion to approve the budget.
Thank you, Ms. Lundy. Can I have a second?
I second.
I second the motion.
Thank you, Ms. Atkinson. Thank you, Ms. Manning. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. All opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. And any abstentions, identify yourself. Okay, we have budget approved noted. We will now move on to the information items. First, we have the principal's report. Do we have a principal report today? Oh, you are on mute, Ms. St. Joy.
Yes, hold on. I just have to switch presentations.
Okay, no problem.
Mm. Okay. So the principal's report. Upcoming activities. We are in our very long month of March. Our students just finished their MAP assessments, which will be shared at the next GoTeam meeting. But we have seen improvements since winter time, which we're really excited about. On March 20th, which is this Monday, is a teacher planning day, so there are no students at school. Our school librarian appreciation day is March the 28th. Our community food bank is March 21st. And our academic parent teacher teams meeting is March 30th. Again, that academic parent teacher teams meeting, communication will start going out next Monday about the event. We had 65 parents the first time, 58 this time. We hope to get just as many this last go round. With this model, you meet with parents 3 times. We hope to give them information about end of the year assessments. As our older students are taking the Georgia milestones, our younger students will be taking an end of course test to try to identify any gaps they may have before going on to the next grade level. And that takes place March 30th. We do provide childcare for families, and we do provide meals for families that come. So we encourage all to come. It will be posted on our website, shared via text message, robocall, and students will also send invitations to their parents to attend. But all year, this has been a pretty well-attended event, and we hope it's the same for this last go round. Upcoming spring break, April 3rd through the 7th. Everybody's gonna need a little reset by then. Our Teacher Appreciation Week starts May 1st. Special week to show love and appreciation to our teachers for the essential employees that they are. Our Georgia Milestones also starts May 1st, and that takes place until the 12th of May. Something that changed about the milestones this year. In the past, certain sections have been taken together, but they're breaking up the sections because they were finding that children were just getting kind of fatigued and tapping out by the second part. So the test has been broken up. But that will take place during that week for various grade levels. And our next GoTeam meeting is to be determined. It could take place in April or May. My suggestion is for it to take place in April, just because there's so many things happening with the closing out of the year. I'm afraid May will get there and we'll be playing with the date. So I just wanted to put that out there that we need to decide that as a group. But that concludes the principal's report.
All right, thank you so much, Principal St. Joy, for that information as well. Do we have any additional information items at this time? Okay, we'll move on to our announcements. Does anyone have any announcements to provide at this time? Okay, well, we have reached the end of our agenda. I don't think that there's any additional business at this time. So may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Lundy. Can I have a second?
I second it.
Thank you, Ms. Atkinson. All in favor say aye or raise your hand. All opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. Are there any abstentions? Aye for me.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Meeting is adjourned. Everyone have a great evening.
Thank you. Miss
Thank
Leslie,
you. Uh-huh.
we're happy to have you back.
Oh. Thank you. I was watching the recordings. I was like, go ahead, Miss Manning. You were handling that. You were handling that. Thank you. I was on training. Oh my God, training was crazy.